This is the GV Podcast, a variety review podcast featuring two of the three idiots giving their thoughts on cartoons and anime. This is an opinion-based podcast, and there's no way we're saying our thoughts and opinions are objective. Keep this in mind and enjoy the show.
Ah, shit, they're gaining on us. We gotta jettison some cargo. Throw those stolen boomerangs, we don't need on them. On it, boss! Bad news, boss!
What happened?
The boomerangs came back. Hello, everybody, my name's Mayhem.
Jitsu.
I'm Duke. And today, Jitsu's got something very special for us. What is it?
So, for a really long time, I've wanted... So, I like talking about quality stuff.
Quality.
Right? I like sharing my perspective on quality stuff. I mean, you don't really...
JoJo's not quality, yeah, no.
What was the random movies that you put up, Duke, that we had to watch?
Had to watch.
No, I know.
Full Dive.
Yeah.
Don't you dare bring up Full Dive. I don't remember that. That's just a lose-lose for me right there.
Hey, we have to have bad anime. We have to have bad anime so we know what good anime is.
I think if we do bad anime, it has to be a bad anime that no one's ever heard of. So that it's just...
So Full Dive, actually, yeah. That's actually a perfect example.
God fucking damn. Okay, anyway.
But what's on the docket today, Jitsu?
So, I grew up watching the Studio Ghibli movie, Hayao Miyazaki. And, how do I explain? I really want to share this with Duke and Mayhem because there's the style and the storyline and everything about the Studio Ghibli movies. They're all, there's a very, like, unique elegance to it that I think you guys can appreciate.
Yeah.
And it's very beautiful. They make him look so good.
Ooh.
This is the Disney of anime.
Oh,
The Disney of anime, guys?
in the good sense.
You guys like anime? You guys like Disney?
I like neither of those.
Well,
Too bad. Too bad.
Yeah. And the first one we're gonna watch is about pig people.
Pig?
So
Oh!
favorite opening for Mayhem.
I've heard of this one.
Pig people and bathhouses.
Oh!
I did not know about that aspect of it, okay.
And trains along the ocean.
Yeah.
Or I guess just a big body of water. I don't know.
A
Anyways.
river. What is its name, Jinsu?
Oh, actually, I'm actually like spilling the beans. I'm not just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
It's called Spirited Away.
Spirited Away!
Oh, okay.
I'm going to jail!
That's gonna sound fun. Test your mic, please.
Cold open?
Hello, everybody. My name is Plausible Deniability.
And I'm Reasonable Clause.
Reasonable possibility.
Also known as My Name's Mayhem.
I'm Jinsu.
And I'm Duke.
And today we're talking about the first of many the Studio Ghibli movies. Spirited Away is the one that we're talking about today.
Luckily, we had a part one. I just remembered.
We
Fuck. Shit.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, hell
It
yeah.
was months ago.
Then I can cut
It
all
was
this
months
out.
ago.
I can cut all this out.
No, you have to keep the... Including the probable click noise.
Okay. So we just watched Spirited
Checking
Away.
off the air.
What?
No, I saw Jinzu is shaking it back and forth. I was like, quit jacking off the ghost.
The mic. I wonder how that's
The
going to
ghost
sound
of
fun.
Mike's. The ghost of Mike's.
The ghost of...
His name is Mike.
So yeah, we just saw Spirited Away. It's been a while for some of us. It's been a lot more recent for others. Yeah, this is the first Studio Ghibli movie that I've seen, so I have a bit of a bias towards it.
This is a Studio Ghibli movie I've watched the most because every kid has their hyperfixation movie that they can't stop watching. For most people, you probably think of like Frozen when that first came
Star
out.
Wars.
Kids, or Star Wars.
Digimon, yeah.
People are
I
just
know.
totally obsessed with this. Well, my sister loved Spirited Away, and so did my cousins. Like every time we hung out, it was put on a Studio Ghibli movie and let's just watch, like, and like have popcorn.
Put on Spirited Away.
Put on Spirited Away. I watched My Neighbor Totoro with them for the first time, like a couple years ago, And my sister like watched it and was like, "This movie's so cute and so much fun." And then she looked up like the hidden meaning behind everything.
Oh,
and was
yeah.
like, I no longer like this movie.
I got to watch that video with a YouTuber named Aki Dearest.
That's what. Just save yourself the trouble. Any hidden meanings behind anything, and especially kids' movies, is just they're dead.
Yeah,
Usually is, yeah.
Just go with the flow, and just know that they're dead.
The cat bus leads you to death. Oh.
Every Pokemon theory where it's you're dead. You're dead. Your little yokai spirit thing just fucking.
Okay,
It's a balloon that kidnaps you in the middle of the night. What the fuck?
Day of recording, I will say it was funny. Of the Pokemon Company released a video for a new Pokemon, which was this convergent form of Sinistea. And
Oh god.
the best part is it's this whole tale about like a Mocha Pokemon that like kills people by draining their energy, covering them in Mocha.
Oh.
And you watch as like it's a one of those like doll stories that you show to kids kind of thing.
Oh. Okay.
And it's like live action. You see all these kids sitting in the crowd, and each of them by the end of the video start to fall over.
Oh. Well, that's terrifying.
And the final part of it is you just see the guy, I thought my cup was chipped, and then he falls over and you see all the like Mocha around gather up into the Pokemon and fly away.
You've been drinking ghost Pokemon the entire time.
All those kids are dead.
Yes.
You know, you guys know Litwick?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
One of my favorite Pokemon.
The backstory of that Pokemon is that it like leads you away
To death.
to death.
Yeah.
Or no, as it's leading you away, it's slowly killing you.
It's it's the closest thing we have to Will o' the Wisps.
It always makes me laugh though when people are like, "Oh, I got to make this theory about how dark the Pokemon world is," and
You
it's
can
like
do
you
that
don't
with
have to
literally
make a
every
theory.
Pokemon.
You just have to read the Pokedex entries
Yeah.
and you're set.
All right.
remember-
So, Spirited Away. Let's talk about Spirited Away, not Pokemon. Spirited Away.
But this is basically Pokemon.
Why do you think that, Jinsu? Give your thoughts. Talk about the movie.
Because he turns into a Digimon.
He turns into a digital monster. The
A
sequel to
digital pocket monster.
the sequel to Digimon.
I can't believe it. I found a way for us to
Spirimon.
watch more Digimon related stuff.
The sequel to Digimon. Spirimon. Spiritual monsters.
Spiritmon are the champions.
You made the joke that I think I forgot which one was made the joke where like getting spirited away was the nuke. like getting nuked and like having your shadow burned onto the concrete.
I think that was Mayhem over there.
I said that these characters who looked like 1940s Japanese businessmen on their way to work as like a, look, they're in the spirit world. That means that they're dead. They died to something that would have caused them to be dead on their way to
you
work.
say the word Hiroshima and I just go, Jesus Christ, man.
Man, here I am trying to make it at least sound PG.
Oh, plenty PG.
We weren't being recorded when we were talking about that.
Has time passed? Has enough time passed? Enough time has passed. Make joke.
Make Oppenheimer.
Yes.
I am become
Yes.
joke, teller of
It
puns.
would be very funny if you made Oppenheimer movie.
Sir.
Go ahead.
The Japanese aren't going to show it in theaters.
Mayhem. I am.
Yes, it.
I am become joke, creator of pun.
I think I saw.
Creator funny.
I saw a post about someone watched Oppenheimer in South Korea, and they started cheering when the bomb went off.
Oh my god.
That's kind of fucked
Oh
up.
my
But
god.
hilarious. All right, so non-spoiler thoughts about Spirited Away. That's where we are right now.
Would you like the guy who's never seen it to start?
Yes,
This is one of the funniest
Yes.
movies I've ever seen.
What?
funny. It's got some good jokes, but
What?
It's fucking hilarious.
It's pretty comical.
Like honestly, some of the character designs, obviously, like there are moments that freaked me out. Like there's a whole thing with like this river spirit that like comes in and shits all over the floor and like becomes
floor.
an
He shits over everything.
old man mask that carries off the water and goes away.
And the dragon.
And that was disturbing, but otherwise, this has been one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I don't feel as much emotional attachment to it. Honestly, probably because I just watched it now. This is the first time I've ever watched it fully. I don't have the emotional attachment of like I'm a kid, like going like, oh my god, I relate to this. Like I remember moving.
I remember when my parents got turned into pigs.
Well, mind you, I am one of those kids that was
Their
constantly
parents
moving.
turned into.
Don't insult my father.
Damn. I'm just gonna...
No, but One of them was like that whole thing of her having so much fear based on the fact that she was moving. Like that was her first time moving. I moved a lot when I was a kid. And
I got over it.
I'll be honest, I didn't care much. There was only like one time when I was really upset. Like I would say there were very specific things I would be upset about. Like, oh, okay, I can't see my friends anymore. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sad.
I guess they're dead to me
Yeah,
now.
bye. Honestly, like, there are kids from, like, because I moved around 4th grade was the big year that I was moving around constantly.
Prime time, all right.
Like, that was, for me.
That's making friends age.
That was the housing crisis,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's exactly when,
Yeah,
when all
around
of a sudden
2000
we all started moving.
So anyway, for some reason around 2008, yeah, make a guess, yeah.
This movie didn't come out in 2008, did it?
2001 is when it was dubbed. Oh. Or I think 2001 is when it came out. Who knows? Whatever. I don't care.
Did you know that Kermit the Frog unintentionally...
Caused 9/11, yes.
Yeah, just the fact
By
that...
being born.
By being born, something happens.
I was going to say Bin Laden was really angry that day.
Bin Laden did not like the ending.
Man, just Bin Laden in the plane. It's time to make the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get things started.
Can you do it?
On these couple plays tonight.
If they never made Mickey Mouse,
They would have made Ricky the Rat.
then World War II never would have happened.
World War II happened because of Mickey Mouse.
There's actually a Family Guy cutaway gag where it was Stewie trying to get through customs, and he's got a bunch of weapons in his bag, and he does like a show tune thing, and he starts walking away, and he goes, "God, I hope that Bin Laden doesn't know any show tunes." And then Bin Laden shows up, and he goes, "God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it."
I just want to say real fast, Jinzu put down his mic and then started speaking into the soda that he was taking a drink from.
So naturally...
So, honestly, for me, when it comes to this movie, I don't have as much emotional attachment of, like, there's plenty of stuff that I feel I would be attached to.
I do not care.
You know, there's one problem, though. I was going to say, there's one problem, though, of me being emotionally attached to...
care that you're not attached to the movie.
And that's not to take away from anything. But... like, I would feel more attached if it weren't for the fact that, like, obviously that state of, like, being really emotional about moving. I didn't feel that.
You didn't relate
I'm
to it.
autistic as shit.
I'm so lost, man. What does that have to do with anything?
But I'm basically saying,
making a long story
this movie
short.
good, funny, like, very, like, beautiful.
But not relatable.
But I didn't, like, feel the emotional attachment that so many people do of, like, this is the greatest film to ever be made, and I'm willing to rewatch it 37 times. I don't do that. For this one, I'm just like, this was fun. Honestly, I'd probably rewatch it with a couple buddies again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get high with a couple friends, get drunk. Every time they...
Every time they insult a little girl for being lazy and, like, not useful.
Every time you see a Jewish stereotype,
Anytime
take
you
a
see
drink.
any racial
you see
stereotype or any
Japanese viewpoint racial stereotype.
Yeah, or like anytime
You
anyone
see the Twitter bird.
anyone is acting racist, I'll
Watch
take
Dragon
a drink,
Ball.
take a shot every
Die.
time someone's racist.
Watch
like-
Dragon Ball drown.
This was the first one I saw, but it was only like a couple years ago that I first actually saw it. Like, I always knew about these movies. I just knew that there was like just some anime movies that existed that were good.
Ghiblis.
And this was kind of the one that I saw before Dookie started showing me anime. This is the thing that I technically watched. That was a bit more Japanese than it was introduced to Western audiences and all that kind of stuff, even though it's probably the most... What?
I was just noticing it was small, so...
Because I'm talking normally.
Here. Try to point it up like this. Yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah, there you go. Fixed.
I noticed it was small. Can you like fix that?
Can you, like, shut the fuck up?
I noticed it was small. Can
Should
you
I
just...
speak louder into
Let
it?
me expand it.
I noticed it was small. Can you just... Gamu gamu...
Gomu gomu no yoink.
Yoink.
Gamu no yoink.
But yeah, the Spirited Away for me was it was really my first, like, choice movie to watch. I was at a friend's place and they just put it on, and and I was just like, Spirited Away anime, and he was like, shut up, it's good. And I was like, okay, fine. And I watched it and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. Because and then now look at me. That was the gatekeep. That was the first taste. It's free. That was my
First
moment.
hit is free.
Yeah.
This is my first time watching it with like a conscious adult mind.
Caring, but also not caring.
Yeah, and like actually like focusing on the plot, because I watched it so many times that I got like, I could just close my eyes and just like, I've seen this movie 30 times.
And you can fall asleep at the beginning and wake up perfectly when the spider guy shows up.
Yeah, exactly. And being like, the cozy part. Now I can watch him
The
work.
suit.
I can watch him work very quietly to the. It's like ASMR.
Oh
Him just making shit and then like working constantly, and like there's always the moving parts everywhere.
It's like a lot of those short videos, TikTok videos, where the person like shows the process of doing a bunch of stuff, like making tea or whatever, but, like the ancient way.
Oh yeah, the old traditional way.
Yeah.
Let me show you the ancient way of making a 2x4. There you go.
Random tool you've never seen or heard of. Clip.
It's like
a perfect square.
ASMR, but it's like the.
I was gonna say it's like those videos of the guys like, oh, we're gonna build this thing using the ancient methods, and it's
Sticks.
sticks, but then they end up with like the most complex like underground civilization you've ever seen.
And it's like
it's just like, I don't think that was sticks.
And it's like I tried digging a hole when I was younger, and I got like 2 feet down and was very tired with a shovel, and they used sticks.
The furthest I ever went digging a hole is the size of this room that we're in right now.
Buried like 7 people? Okay.
Anyway, let's move on. My middle school years let us move on.
Yeah, so
the clay from it was amazing.
So yeah, this is my first time watching it with like an adult brain that was actually conscious and like really
Following the
making
plot.
and like really making just like actually following the plot and like really absorbing what I'm watching. And
This is a good kids movie.
it does a lot of.
It's very
where
simple.
The what you're watching is very funny, and like the what's on screen is like very loud and moving and has a bunch of color and all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, off screen, everybody's talking about, I can't believe that I'm stuck here in this place. I got to get out. My parents are trapped.
There's lots of subliminal messages like spread out throughout the movie that I feel like go over kids' heads really easily. But now that I'm more grown up and like watching it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a symbol. This is symbolism for pollution, or this is symbolism for greed, or
this is Disney for weeaboos.
for Japanese people.
For the Japanese.
Yeah. Also weeaboo.
The Japu Disney.
Which is very popular quote people like to repeat.
It is well, when you think about it, it is very Disney. It's got like, well, it's classic Disney where there's
The
a lot of stuff that is
fantastical
like
world.
fantastical and like sometimes horrifying.
You know how nowadays Disney does the when they do they show, like they do the Disney opening thing where they show their logo. You can see like I would see like if they did it nowadays, the bathhouse would be where the Disney thing is. What?
It just sounds funny.
They do that where like they change what the castle is.
Hey kids, you want to go visit the castle? No, fuck that. I want to go visit the bathhouse. Show me them titties.
You go by girl pronouns, well let me see them titties. Yahoo! What is it is? It's a fine. No, it's a not.
But no,
If you say so.
it's what I mean when I say it feels very Disney is obviously like the whole romance thing towards the end. Like that's basically every early Disney movie.
Storybook, like all of a sudden these two characters that are two major characters just all of a sudden like
It
have
was true
feelings.
love, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just suddenly because the old man
That's
decreed
not a
it.
negative, mind you. That's not a negative. I just say that that's a very obvious thing that a lot of Disney movies do and a lot of Ghibli movies do. Of here's the love story at the very end, and it's like, oh, okay.
Don't you mess with the old man's ship.
The love story part felt random.
It was random, but
Disney,
it was more...
yeah.
Like, I was not following the love story part. I was like, there was a love story hidden under all this. I thought
Did you ever watch
it
Snow
was
White?
just I thought it was just the spirit being a spirit and protecting the young, pure, innocent girl who's very like naive and like meant to represent innocence and purity.
Yeah, and absence of greed.
And absence or like the inability to tempt. Like, you can't tempt her.
Yeah.
Because she's too pure.
It's what it is. Once again, it's like the best example I can give is something like Snow White, where it's like, oh yeah, the story is about her escaping her evil stepmother and finding safety among these dwarves, and then at the end, the prince shows up and falls in love with her and kisses her, and she gets to go off.
Hey, how's it going?
Like, that's kind of what the movie is. Of like, you got this fantastical world, like you got the queen who can become a dragon. It's all awesome, and
You're talking about Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty, the evil queen.
the queen who can become just an old lady and then give you a poison apple.
There you go.
Anyway, the dwarves are cool.
Anyway, did you know that Dopey might actually be a human child?
Anyway, did you know that apparently Grumpy is grumpy because he's a woman hater? Thing that Walt Disney said.
Now we have
a woman
Grumpy.
hater, Grumpy.
Who the fuck was Grumpy again?
Of
of
the
the seven
dwarves.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
the thing that you would see parents on social media before the Minions memes, Facebook memes came out. It was Grumpy before them.
The bashful one.
Yeah.
The bashful one of the dwarves. Apparently, he was in love with Snow White.
That's why he was bashful.
Yeah. So
It was Grumpy, Dopey, Happy,
Doc.
No, there wasn't a
Sneezy.
Happy. There wasn't a Happy. Yeah,
That was bashful, I guess. Yeah, the bashful one. And then the other two.
Farty.
Farty,
No,
Hardy.
horny was
Hardy.
no, horny was a horrible one to have as a roommate.
They got instantly kicked out.
You need real protective pants.
All right, let's get into the story of Spirited Away. We
You
start
have
off.
cold
I was
water
gonna
on
say
you at all times.
you two could probably summarize this the quickest possible way.
I will summarize this in the quickest
Jinzu.
possible way.
Jinzu speed
will-
run.
Jinzu will say, "Watch the movie."
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. You just go watch the movie.
We
Summary.
get small family, parents and daughter. The daughter's name is I don't remember.
Chihiro.
Chihiro.
Yeah.
And they're moving, and we don't see where they're going from or going to. It's just all of a sudden he finds a shortcut. The dad finds a shortcut. They get stopped in front of this very foreboding train
I'm familiar
tunnel.
with this, by the way.
Very foreboding train tunnel.
I'm familiar with this.
What? They get out and then they investigate. The dad, for some reason, is just like, yeah, let's just go see this very dangerous place while we're in the middle of trying to move.
Yeah, it's weird how very careless the parents are.
Yeah. They go in. They all of a sudden find themselves in the spirit world. They find themselves in the Windows logo, the Windows background
Yeah.
for Windows.
They find themselves in the
hills,
window logo.
In the window hills.
It's just a window.
Help!
The Microsoft hills.
And then they literally just keep walking. It's like they were like literally in like where there was a bunch of houses in a forest, and then they go through the tunnel, and then they're just in open plains. And their first idea is not to go back, but because the dad smells food, and they go and they go and they eat food. They find like a whole city that's like kind of abandoned, but they just smell that someone just made a shit ton of food. So without even asking for permission, they literally just go up and start eating the food. And the main girl, she literally just is like, this seems wrong, but the parents are like, shut up, eat food.
Who cares?
And then they just start turning into pigs, because why not?
Because they're gluttony. They're gluttony.
Yes.
The symbol for
Yes.
gluttony is usually the pig.
Yes. I'm standing right here, Jinsu. I'm
Today
also
it
not
is the
standing.
Big Mac.
I know, I can smell you.
I can smell you from here.
What is the symbol of gluttony? A pig? No, a Big Mac.
A Big Mac.
No, an American.
No.
At this point, hell is going to be shaped like a Big Mac.
Hell yeah. What would the lettuce be?
Suffering.
Lava?
Wait, what?
What would the lettuce be? Suffering. Why? Because it's lettuce.
Because it's still just lettuce.
All you get to eat is lettuce. It is gluttony.
But yeah, so she sees how this world is like it's asleep during the day, but as soon as night comes around, a bunch of spirits just show up. There's a bathhouse that they go to, and she gets found instantly by this dragon spirit guy, and he's just like, I'm gonna help you for some reason. I feel like I need to help you for some reason. And
My role in this story is to help you. Come here.
come here, let me get you across this bridge. You can't
Love.
Eat this.
He gets her across the bridge into like the lining of the house of the bathhouse, so technically she can't get kicked out just yet, and unless she does something wrong, which doing something wrong is being human. And he tells her to go down this service staircase on the side of the building, go ask for a job from the boiler man and all that kind of shit. And it has a really good joke where she's trying to go down slowly on this very dangerous set of stairs. Takes one step, the step immediately breaks because it's made out of flimsy wood, and she has to go charging down, and crashes into the wall.
She's just screaming.
Ah! Then there's a frog who just goes. There's a frog who just hears it and just has a smoke.
Oh yeah, and the bathtub is just full of frog people. Like they're all just frogs. I don't know how to. I don't know what that symbol
They're
is.
frog spirit people shit.
Yeah.
But like it's very. This one has like one of the best like Japanese inspired stuff, because this is very much like they call it like the spirit world and all that kind of stuff. So it's very much the afterlife. So it's a lot of yokai and Japanese spirits, and just like the way that they picture the afterlife in Shinto religion.
Are frogs supposed to be greedy?
Well,
is that a thing in Shinto?
I don't know about the frog.
Cause I don't know the way every frog just pinched at everything, and like
Yeah.
every time they saw something they wanted, like the roasted newt.
Well, you saw like they kind of went in like levels where it's like the more frog they were, the lower they were, and the more human they looked, the higher up they were.
Right.
So it's like they were going from toad to human.
Yeah, the women all looked like
They were all the same.
they all looked like they were 90% human and then 10% frog. Kind of like that one character in My Hero.
Oh,
But
yeah,
like
Froppy.
less frog.
Yeah, less
Yeah,
frog than Froppy.
turn on the frog a little bit and like add more human and like remove some frog features like the webbing foot or like the tongue
Yeah.
and like that weird accent.
What do you find?
Frogs are seen as iconic creatures that symbolize success and good fortune.
That's what it is.
There you go. But yeah, so she gets down to the boiler room and we meet Spider Dr. Eggman. One of the best characters in the entire movie.
Here's my soot. Find my emeralds.
The most wholesome character.
He's just this old man character, but he has like he has 8 arms.
He's 6.
And 6 arms and 2 legs, because that's 8, not the other way around. And then he has 3 fingers on each hand, and he's making a bunch of like the herbal water stuff for the bathhouse, and he's also boiling it. And he's enchanted these little things of soot that Jinsu very much enjoys. They're very marketable.
Yeah.
And they're literally just like she asked,
literally just balls of soot with like eyes drawn on them.
with giant eyes
and giant eyes drawn on them, and then they got little sticks for hands.
Yes. And like they're throwing coal into the fire into the furnace, and one of them almost kills himself by getting smushed by a piece of coal. And the main girl, she picks it up and like throws it in, and they see that all the pieces of soot see that, and they all just start pinning themselves underneath the coal. Help! 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 And you're causing a ruckus. They're gonna get lazy.
They won't get me the Chaos Emeralds.
And then just literally, door opens and in comes the voice actress for Meg from Hercules.
You mean one of the hottest Disney characters to ever exist?
I wonder what type of spirit she's supposed to be, because she's like
Woman.
Hot as fuck.
She's the other very human looking.
Like the top female, basically.
Yeah, no, not even like the top female. She just looks like a person. She just looks like a
Like she just got there.
Yeah, like she looks like she's in the same boat as
She just died.
as Chihiro or something, or like no, she looks like she's been there for a while, but like. Because she's very experienced and she's very comfortable with the environment that she's in, and she's comfortable with everybody there too.
Do you think she represents
her
what
name
would
was
happen?
Lynn, I think.
Lynn, yeah. Do you think she's there to signify what would happen to Sen if she were to never relieve again.
No, she's what actually happened to Megara in Hercules after the movie.
Megara?
Yeah, that's her full name, actually. Yeah,
An actual character.
Where in actual Greek mythology, she gets killed by Hercules.
Hell yeah.
Tricked by Hera.
Yes.
But this is what happened. It was their sad breakup.
She's the wife that
Oh yeah,
the Hera tricked. She puts.
it's the reason why their happy ending at the end of the movie is a little.
Yeah, because the Hera makes him go crazy, and then he's like, raw. He does a Kratos.
The
He
movie
puts on the wife beater.
That movie is one of the least accurate Greek mythology movies of all time.
But
at the same time, it is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time.
Because Zeus is portrayed as a loving father.
And then along came
and
Zeus.
husband.
He hurled his thunder dick.
Dude, I love Zeus's portrayal in that movie just because it's so inaccurate to his actual character.
It's so Disneyified. But
he's
but
a big wholesome grandpa.
So
I love Disney Zeus. I hate actual Zeus.
So Lynn, the lady that's working there, she's like, human. Whoa,
Zeus.
Yeah,
man whore.
Yeah,
he is
Zeus. But she's like about to call like security on Sen, but old man is just like, she's my granddaughter.
my granddaughter.
Mm. You see that loophole?
Last second, fucking has her back.
And now he's just become the old man, the lovable old man character. So she gets taken up to the executive's office, and we meet what's her face. I don't remember her name. I need you to pull up the character sheet.
Baba Yaga.
No, I need you to pull up the character sheet.
Yubaba.
Yubaba?
That's actually
okay.
Yeah.
And she's like a magic lady who
has a big nose.
Has a huge. She's one of the characters that just has the most detail out of everybody at all times.
They kind of just do that in Ghibli.
That's a Japanese, I think, folklore thing. I forget.
The more detailed you are, the more evil you are.
But I know it's like some yokai folklore thing.
Of an old lady witch thing.
With like big face.
Yeah.
Big, huge beady eyes to like stare into your soul with.
Eyes bigger than your head.
I was going to say, just imagine for a second, just like there's this old Japanese tale that the more detailed you are, the more evil you are. So it's like somebody with a bunch of wrinkles versus like Tintin.
versus the main character Chihiro, who's literally just a ball. Her face is just a ball.
Yep. But yeah, so now we get like she applies her name, part of her name gets stolen, and now she goes by Sen. I actually remember that. And so she gets put on the job to work at the bathhouse. And you get to see just how... I honestly really like the inside design and like the atmosphere of the bathhouse and all that kind of stuff, even though it's a very safe take on it.
Oh, yeah. No, you there's no... safe way to take it otherwise.
Yeah, they PG'd. They PG'd.
Like you go literally one step further, it's R.
Yeah.
It's just that is how it is. Of just like you can't go that far into bathhouse before you go like, okay, this is R rated now.
Yeah. And so like she's learning the culture, learning how to work in there.
Scrub the muddy demons.
And then almost immediately when she's in there, she gets tested by as she's trying to clean out one of the giant baths, a huge stink monster just comes in and everybody's just like their hair standing on end, just like, oh, this smells terrible. And all
I liked this scene, but I also hated it.
And
I love that throughout the movie she slowly gets more and more matured and more like calm and confident in herself.
Yeah. She falls over a lot less.
Right. She's able to carry herself a lot more better, or a lot more properly.
Yeah.
And she's also like, she doesn't get scared as easily either. She starts off the movie like super terrified of like everything.
Of her own shadow, basically.
Yeah. And like very timid, very like naive, super...
What?
Pause real quick.
Leave me alone!
I don't want to be left alone. She keeps showing me more of those.
I like how that became a meme recently.
After we all of a sudden...
like 30 years of existence.
Why does that keep happening for us? Of like, we make a video of like talk about this, of like, no one's talking about this right now. Let's talk about it.
And then
some announcement comes out. The Digimon movie's getting redubbed.
Huh.
After we did our thing on it.
And then Team 4 Star did their their review stuff.
Their commentaries on their shit after we started doing it.
And now there's basically the equivalent of season 4 of DBZA coming
Bloodborne
out.
2, Bloodborne 2, Bloodborne 2.
we gotta make a video on Bloodborne.
The moment we record it, Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2, Bloodborne 2.
Jinzu would.
Jinsu, you go to heaven. What is at the pearly gates? Bloodborne 3.
I didn't play the second one.
Super Smash Brothers Melee 2.
It's just brawl.
No, Project M. Fuck you.
Project M.
Yes. All right, so back to Spirited Away. Literally just this giant stink monster thing just comes in, and instantly it's just like, all right, Sen, here's the thing to show everybody that you're not completely useless for the plot. And she finds that the thing has a bicycle stuck into it, and they pull it out and just unloads a shitload of shit and junk and grossness from it. This movie does a really good job of showing grossness, of like just gross stuff that's like it's not water, but it's liquid.
And it's just
It's
really,
trash.
really fucking nasty, and it's so nasty that if there's enough of it, you have to wade through it like mud.
Yep.
The reactions they show of other characters, like her hair standing up in that moment, is really well done.
It portrays it so well without anybody actually saying that he stinks. Like, I'm pretty sure people do say it, but like you can just tell off of their reactions to it that you can tell like how terrible it smells, just how terrible it is. And so they pull out the bicycle and all the shit and everything goes out, and it's revealed to be Old Man Mask that Duke hates because it's very wrinkled and scary looking.
It's more the fact that when it popped out, just the fucking old man mask is slowly popping out of the water. You did well.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then it just takes the water, turns into a dragon, throws her this river orb, and then just flees. Just what the fuck?
Chekhov's medicine ball.
I forgot what it was called, but I know in
It was another river spirit.
in Percy Jackson. In Percy
This is
Jackson,
the start of a statement.
in one of the, I think in the 9th book, when they're fighting, Percy at some point gets I think it's called a sea sponge or a sand soapstone or something.
I think a sand dollar.
Sand dollar, yeah, sand dollar. He had a sand dollar, and
It was Chekhov's sand dollar. It was set up like 2 books ago.
Yeah.
And I remember like getting to the end of that book where he first got it, and I was like, "Where is he having it?"
I was like, "Damn, he's gonna use it now." After...
And it summons something.
I need to read the Percy Jackson book again.
They're good. But yeah,
That shit had me sucked in. That was the first like book series that like I could not like stop. Like we had to read for stuff for English, and like they in 6th grade they showed us just the first book just to like have a book for us to read. But I fell in love immediately with it when I actually read it because I watched the movie first as a kid.
Oh, I'm so
and was
sorry.
like, wow, this is ass. And then I read the book and I was like, wow, this is so good. And then I watched the movie again and I was like, I hate this even more.
Even more.
I hate this even more now. And
I always had the issue of like my sister like watching the Harry Potter movies, and I was just like, why were these made into books? This is just like this. But then like, and my sister like having like enjoying the movies, but then also being like, this is not as good as the books or whatever. But it's just like now. But then I read Percy Jackson and then watched the movie, and I was just like, this is garbage.
my older
Funniest.
my sisters and my cousins who we grew up with, they read a lot and they would introduce books to us a lot too.
Yeah.
And I think my sister and my older cousin, they were reading Harry Potter around the same time because they're like only a year apart. And they would talk about it. They would talk about they were all like the 4 of them would like hang out and like talk about the books that they read.
Family book club.
Yeah, basically it was weird. And like I was the only one who didn't
Before
read
the
anything.
internet.
I was the only one who didn't read anything. I was just there like, when do we get to play video games?
Melee.
No, not at that point. No, but yeah, no, it was usually Melee. But yeah, they were talking about how the books are so much better. The books are so much better, and I never understood it until the Percy Jackson series.
Yeah.
And that series had me so hooked. I was reading it for like all of middle school, and like I would sit in class. Class would end, the bell would ring, everybody would leave, and I'd still be sitting there reading it. My teacher would be like, "Hey,
Get the fuck out.
hey, The bell rang. You need to go.
There's a podcast I listen to called Anime Matters, and I was listening to it, and one of the guys, he does not like manga. Like, he just does not like it. And one of his takes he actually had at one point was that he doesn't like that anime has to have a manga tied to it beforehand, basically, kind of thing. Like, it was kind of weird. And he gave examples of, like, oh, well, there are such popular movies out there where they don't have a book tied to it. Like The Godfather.
Right.
The Godfather was a novel.
It was
Right.
It was a novel.
I messaged them, actually, and he responded, like, the co-host that was opposed to that take, he responded, "This is the funniest thing. I'm going to throw that in his face right away."
I'm going to use
That's
this.
awesome. Hey, dumbass! Guess what I learned?
That you're wrong!
Hello, YouTube Shorts.
So yeah, Spirited Away. So she saves the thing, gets the medicine ball, and just kind of hangs out.
That has to be a sand dollar, right?
No, it's a medicine ball.
But it looks like shit.
Yes, medicine.
We should look it up what it is.
It's
But like
medicine ball.
that's what that reminded me of, because she also uses it to like clean shit.
Yeah, it's basically like like if anybody takes it, then it like
Cleans them out.
cleans them out internally,
Full
spiritually.
detox.
Yeah, and this entire time they've been setting up this this Spectre character that I'm pretty sure everybody's seen at this point, where he's just this little shadow guy with a very stupid looking mask.
You know what I just realized?
What?
That increase in confidence. She got that increase in confidence when she took a bite of that medicine ball.
Oh yeah, it cured her. It cured her for impurities.
It like toughened her up a little bit. She like
Yeah, she was willing to eat something that gross.
she went through all of that and was like, "Fuck it." She learned how to deal with it.
Yeah.
She learned that part of growing up.
But we learn, and this guy's name is No Face, and we kind of have to deal with him for a little bit. He can he can make things, he can be a spirit and all that kind of shit. He can mess with people, and he very much has taken a liking to Sen. And basically, we get like a horror movie sort of thing where he kidnaps and eats this frog guy that's been showing up and talks with his voice, makes fake gold, but nobody knows about it yet, and basically bribes them all to give him a bath, give him shitloads of food and all that kind of stuff, and everybody's tempted by their greed and all that kind of shit. And he's taking it all in. That's where that shot of him with his arms up over a bunch of food, just being like, yes! This is so funny. But, and while this is happening, literally Sen just looks up and sees a dragon getting fucked over by a bunch of pieces of paper, like cutting it over and over again. And this is where we kind of we found out about this a little bit before, but what's his face, the guy that helped her get across into the bathhouse safely, is actually dragon. Like, he can turn into a dragon. Aku. And basically he sends out and does stuff for the boss, for Baba, or whatever her name is.
Yubaba.
You know, Bababa.
Yubaba or Ibaba?
Bibbidi boppity boo.
Bibbidi bobbidi, shut up.
Yeah, Jinzu, you know. You know. Being gaslit.
I am me, and he is you.
Stop talking to you. Talk to me.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
I am you. And I am talking to me.
And
he is you.
he is me, and I is you. Man, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
We want
You gotta stop feeding him because he is too damn big.
That seems funny. I did not like the movie. The third one,
the third one.
Rush Hour.
Curb your tongue.
My roommates and I watched Rush Hour like 4 times because it was like, we gotta do a drinking game with it. Okay, this sounds like fun. You drink when this happens. You drink when this happens. You drink when something. It was
One of your friends died that night.
It was you drink if someone says something racist. You drink every time Chris Tucker makes a Michael Jackson reference, and then I drink every time Jackie Chan disarms somebody.
Did you almost die?
We were fucked up, man. we were fucked up. That was so much fun. We did it like 5 times.
I just imagine you sitting there at the end of the night. Please don't disarm somebody. No!
Please tell me that was the last fight
We
scene.
did not take some of those drinks because it was like, okay, I took my 5th shot. I feel like I'm gonna fly away.
My favorite clip I saw recently.
But you're
of
behind
just,
7 shots.
drinking game. I drink every time a Pokemon says its name in the anime. Diglett dig, Diglett dig, Diglett dig.
Don't do
he's
that with your
counting.
hand. Don't do that with your hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't do
but
that.
you see the Diglett like jumping up, and he starts counting, and by the end of it, he's at a point where he's like, "Oh no!"
Oh.
And he actually drinks it.
Oh God, no.
But you know that episode. You know that episode where it's a bunch of Diglets and it's the Doug trios.
Like early Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh,
so he
man.
drinks it all, and by the time he's done, you see him shaking.
Help.
That is called alcohol poisoning.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and so, like, No Face is causing a big old fuss, and Sen is literally just like, I gotta help my friend who's literally dying. Move out of my way, and No Face definitely, he's very upset about it. She gives him a little bit of the medicine, and he starts like freaking out. But in the meantime, she takes Haku, and there's like a little paper angel thing from Shinto that was stuck to her the entire time, and when she finally finds Haku, it like reveals someone who looks exactly like the boss, Yubaba, and she transforms her own child into a mouse. That's pretty weird. And tries to kill Haku because she said that he stole something. But he can't steal. He's a good guy. But he did steal because he's not a good guy. And basically, I'm just waiting for you guys to say anything.
We're just listening, dude.
I'm literally just like gloss-eyed staring at you.
You're just, both of us just dying in the corner, just.
And so what happens is Spirited Away. They fall back. They fall down this like trash chute all the way down to the boiler room, and Sen force feeds him the medicine ball to try and heal him up, and spits out this little slug monster. And he spits out this little slug monster thing, and it tries to hide with the soot beings. And they they basically just shut the door in its face.
We don't accept your kind here.
And Haku is healed, but Sen has to go and deal with No Face because he's still tearing everything up. And she just leads him away from the bathhouse and is just like, all right, bye. And Yubaba discovers that her child is missing because the mouse is with Sen, and tells Haku to go get her child. And when Sen is finds a train to like a water train, spirit train thing to get on, goes and finds the twin sister of Yubaba, who looks exactly like her. No difference in design
It's called
whatsoever.
Twin Sisters, yeah.
Twin
Okay,
sisters.
but there's even cosmetic like similarities.
They have the same gold earrings, the same blue eyeshadow, the same hairstyle, everything.
The same colored hairpin, the same
When your
bow
sibling
on her back.
When your sibling hates you, how do you get back at them?
Mimicry.
It's the greatest form of fuck you.
Fuck you. A fuckery. But yeah, so, and the sister is leagues better in like so much of a better person than Yubaba. And
Her name is Zany Baba.
Zany Baba. Zany Waney. Continue, baby.
The Wicked Witch of the East.
How dare you?
The Wicked Witch of the West.
But yeah, so gives Sen enough like confidence and all that kind of stuff. Just basically just like, you're all right. Thanks for returning my thing that Haku did absolutely steal from me. And Haku brings her back, and it's revealed that Haku was actually a river spirit that saved her when she was little and all that kind of shit. And sudden connection. They must be in love now. That's where it is. There's a lot of just sudden love in anime.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the movies, where it's just like they were building these characters. They're in love now.
That's kind of also how you ramp down your story of just like, everything is concluded, here's love.
There's love.
It's like Naruto, when at the end it's just like, oh, by the way, Hinata Naruto.
Oh.
Like, there's not really any build-up.
Thanks for that spoiler.
No, the build up is Hinata is in love with him and will not say anything about it and will act the same way every time
And
she sees him. And Naruto will do the same thing every time and be like,
Well,
I don't-
technically,
I
the
don't know
only
what's going on, and then it continues the fucking plot like it didn't happen because it didn't need to happen, and then they made a whole movie about them like getting like really accepting each other's feelings for each other,
and then they get married.
and then Naruto punched the moon in half, and
What?
then he marries Hinata.
Yeah.
That seems kind of fucked.
Oh,
Oh.
Gucci man,
So when
take
they-
me by the hand, take me to the land.
I don't remember this part of the song.
Cut it out.
Mayhem, why'd you do that?
I don't know. What you're
Why did you sing that song?
I don't know
Mayhem.
why.
Mayhem, why'd you do that?
Don't worry about it.
Finish
So
the
so they go back, they head back to the bathhouse, and Yababa is like, I got one more test for you because I hate you, Sen. You little girl, I hate you. I hate you. Which one's your parents? Here's a bunch of pigs.
I hate
Which
you
one's your
because
parents? I
you're a
hate
girl
you.
and you're little.
And she literally just goes, none of them. My parents aren't pigs. And she goes, you're right. You're
right.
So literally just
The moral of the story is
don't guess
I know
your
you're playing
parents as
me.
pigs.
don't
I know you're
let the
playing me.
evil witch lady gaslight
Don't
you.
go into
But
dark
you're right.
train stations and go into the spirit world. What's a message that this movie taught you, Duke?
What did it teach me?
Yeah.
Don't die.
Don't die in Japan.
It reminded me that Meg from Hercules is hot as fuck.
Yes.
Don't die in Japan. You'll become a movie.
You'll be turned into a movie. You'll
Yeah,
get
that's
turned
the
into
other
a
lesson I
legend.
learned of if you're gonna die somewhere, die in like the Nordic area in a fight, so you can just go to Valhalla.
And then
Don't
drink
die in
While-
Japan.
While
And
I'm
then drink-
dying of cancer, he gets sent over to Norway and pick up a sword to try and fight a guy, and he
Don't-
just cleaves my head off.
Don't die in the U.S. The cryptids will find you.
The cryptids will fuck you.
The Wendigo will butt fuck you.
I now have a hard choice to make.
Which one would you rather? How would you rather die? Die in America and get butt fucked by the Wendigo,
Or
die in
Studio
Japan,
Ghibli.
be spirited away,
Be spirited away.
or die in Norway and be sent to Valhalla.
I'll die anywhere God sends me and end up in heaven no matter what.
What happens if you die?
Loser!
What happens if you die in Australia? Where do you go if you die?
Go
in
down
Australia?
and down.
Australia? You go to heaven, but it's upside down, so it's hell.
Go down. You go to the down over.
Down over.
That's what happened.
It's like the upside down. You go
So-
down the A.
It's
The-
the,
the
west. It's
problem-
the Western Air Temple.
The problem is, if you actually die, but in Australia, you actually go to heaven, but because it's upside down, it actually is hell.
Where the shrimp doesn't go on the Barbie.
Only sinners go to heaven in Australia.
The guardian of the pearly gates is Steve Irwin, and he asks how well you treated the animals, and depending on how well you treated animals is if you get to go to heaven or not.
No,
Look
he's
at
got
this one.
he's got one question for you. Did you try to avenge me? If you say yes, you go straight to hell.
Did you take out your anger on an animal who doesn't know any better? Did you take out your anger on it, or did you forgive nature?
He's able to summarize this as simple. Did you try to avenge me? Yeah. Yes.
Yes, everyone's dead.
That's why everyone went to hell.
Did you avenge me? Yeah, I killed all
His
of PETA.
final words to you are just the saddest thing of just, I forgive you with a single tear.
I do, but our Lord doesn't.
I do, but our Lord does. And it's a fucking stingray that pops out. God is a stingray.
What the fuck are we talking about? Closing thoughts of Spirited Away.
Irwin lore.
Steve, how deep does it go?
Steve Irwin lore. Wow.
Jitsu, now that we've talked about the entire story of Spirited Away, what do you think of the entire thing? Right at the end, your closing thoughts. The last things you want to say.
I miss when movies had like simple, basic, plain bullshit for the kids to just watch, and then for the adults to be like, "Oh wow, what an interesting."
That it appeals to both adults and kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it can do both. When it doesn't appeal to adults, then you rob the children of a chance of learning something later on in life.
Yeah.
Because they watch it later on when you're older, and then you realize, oh, that's what that meant.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of modern movies have lost that touch. This movie, honestly, first time watching, it's really, really fun to just sit back and, once again, some of those moments of, like, this is super serious, and I'm sitting back just laughing my ass off of just, like, there was the one where it was, Haku. I think he looked like he was dying.
Yes.
And
Oh, he was as the dragon, and when he faded back into human form, he was just lying face down.
it was that combined with the cutaway of you see the little mouse dude walk over, touch the
curse thing, yeah.
and then he does the whole curse thing, and one of the soot creatures chops it for him.
We need to put the "you died" thing from Dark Souls when his scales go away and it's just him lying down.
Okay, so I gotta say the animation, art design, everything in this movie looked spectacular. This for 2001, this looks better than most things nowadays. It holds up probably one of the best that I've seen. Like from when I watched it a couple years ago to now, it's still better than majority of things I've seen.
The background art you can tell the age of it. Like, it's definitely aged.
It's aged, but quality is really good.
It's still really good. Like, it's like, wow, with so little, they really were able to, like, capture the scope, you know?
It is, even though, like, the quality of the background was maybe a little bit less, it didn't matter as much.
Right.
To when, like, all of a sudden it goes from CG to 2D, and you're just like, oh!
Yeah, I hate the CG to 2D transition. It's it's really hard to do right.
Again, like another quick example I can make of where it does work the best is Record of Ragnarok. That CG is probably one of the best, like, CG anime. Like, there are some moments where, like, the character is 2D, but then when they're in the middle of the fight, they, like, become CG, and they look amazing. Mm-hmm. Like literally no drop in quality.
It has legitimately one of my favorite fights I've seen in anime, period. It's just Hercules versus Jack the Ripper. Such an insane thing to say out loud, and yet it's my favorite anime fight of all time.
But we'll be leaving that for now. Jinzu, what's next?
Wait, your thought. Remember, you have queries.
Here's the thing: if I don't have one, I kind of skip over it.
No, there needs to be a final query.
Okay, my final thought is dragon. If you had to become a river spirit in order to become a dragon,
what type of? Wait, no, I'll do it for you. What kind of dragon do you want to be? Would you want to be a dog dragon, a lizard dragon, or a cat dragon?
I'll take the lizard dragon.
I want to be a monitor lizard.
What?
A literal just lizard, like nothing special about it. He believes in Buddhism. He wants to be reincarnated into a monitor lizard.
I want to be a Gia monster. So I want to be a Gia monster so I can bite somebody and then turn upside down and poison them.
I just want to be a stick bug so I can just
get stick bug.
Yeah. No, real quick. Imagine now all three of those are actually dragons. So the stick bug dragon, it's like an actual fucking dragon-sized stick bug.
Bugs the size, like that's the thing that's like, Duke. You always say that you would hate this, but. Honestly, bugs being huge is probably one of my favorite things. Especially, like, if I'm in, like, a different reality that has,
if it's done right.
That has,
mayhem.
Like the best one is Mothra. Especially the 2019 one.
2019 Mothra, I hated when she pulled out the stinger.
I would worship that thing. I would.
I would squish it. I would be one of the people petitioning to shoot it.
To make to draft the old woman who lived in a shoe to smush Mothra.
Yes. Draft her to the army.
But nah, like huge bugs, like from the size of dogs to elephants.
I love when rhinoceros beetles become like the cattle.
Oh yeah,
and like they're the big ass cows.
See, I'm not alone in this. You're in the minority.
Or when butterflies are like modes of transportation. It's like, all right, hop on the bug. That's hop on my traveler mosquito, and it's like.
You know what that means also? Is that the oxygen is crisp because bugs are only as big as the amount of oxygen there is on the planet.
Yeah, so that
means
back when
I have asthma.
Back in primordial whatever.
Yeah, I could do it.
Earth. There was an age of Earth before
there was just trees.
Yeah, there was so much oxygen that the trees were huge, the bugs were huge. Like imagine centipedes the size of an alligator.
That would be awesome.
Stop it.
They wouldn't be. Every house would need a wall.
I was gonna say in relation to that. I just imagine. What was the dragon you said you'd want to be?
I'll take the lizard.
So I just imagine a big old lizard dragon. I imagine a big old stick bug dragon, and then there's just
Just
a
a
monitor
lizard. Just a lizard.
It's just
photorealistic.
It's a very normal Gia monster.
PNG.
It's a PNG of a Gia monster. So I'm just sitting there. I feel content.
Just
I got to learn that recently that the biggest problem that people have with Gia monsters is when you get bit, that's not the point when the poison gets into you. They flip, and that's when they get the poison into you.
it's like an hourglass. They have to turn it
it's
upside
basically
down.
their poison. They can't inject it into you, so they have to spin you around and then drop the poison.
Oh, okay. So
That's
when
kinda
it,
badass.
so when it gets bit on, so when it bites on me, just
pinch its
Well,
neck and be like,
the
"Alright."
funny thing is, actually, you don't even have to go that far. You just have to not let it turn, and then it gets scared and runs off.
I'm going to beat the ever living shit out of it. It bit me.
Why were you gonna beat me? Why? I thought it'd be a funny joke, man. It's just a prank. Why you have to be mad? It's just a funny joke, man. Why you gotta be mad?
Come over here. I'm gonna beat you.
My survivalist kit always has a hammer in it somewhere
Yes.
for like building shit. So like, but also for like self defense against the little motherfucker. So because you're like, bong 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 bong, fuck off.
It's like the.
I know it's not this, but for a second, I'm gonna be honest. The moment you say I have a hammer in my survival kit, I just imagine that's it, motherfucker. Pull out.
10-ton hammer.
No, it's a normal inflatable hammer. You get it like one of those carnivals.
yeah.
It's a squeaky noise.
Yeah. So Jinsu, what's the Studio Ghibli movie we're gonna be watching next?
You asked for Princess Mononoke.
That was a request. It didn't have to be the next one, but will it?
I was debating on whether I wanted it to be.
I was gonna say jumping straight to Mononoke.
either Mononoke or Howl's Moving Castle.
You got to make a choice right now.
I love doing this. Hold on.
You know, just so you know, Princess Mononoke is very heavily inspired Tears of the Kingdom. So there's some relevance there. And I've already seen Hell's a Moving Castle.
I don't care.
You want to watch Christian Bale?
Let's see. He's gonna wait. Call it. Which is which?
I'm Hellman.
Okay. Heads is Howl's Moving Castle. Tails is Princess Mononoke.
All right.
What is Ponyo? If it turns perfectly sideways, we watch Ponyo.
If
No,
it's
if it lands perfectly sideways, we're gonna watch Graveyard of Fireflies.
hell yeah.
Oh God!
Hell yeah.
No, it turns
All right.
perfectly sideways. We watch the
Okay,
animated
shut up.
Hobbit movie.
Moment of silence. Where'd it go? That's Tails. So no.
No, hold on, I gotta do it again. 'Cause
No!
I dropped it.
He dropped it.
I wanted to say the joke. So no head. You gotta catch it, Jinzu. Come on. All right. Moment of silence.
Shit.
You dropped it again.
It landed on its side.
That'd have been amazing.
1 in a million chance. Da-na-na-na.
Heads.
So no head.
So head,
So head.
And that is
You
Mayhem,
that,
get
that
over
was
here.
Princess Mononoke, right?
Mayhem, get over here.
Was
that
that
was
one?
Howl's Moving Castle. That was Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle. We'll be back.
Howl's
with
moving head.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's moving head. Holy shit!
I'm gonna smash this entire room now. All right. If you like this video, subscribe for more, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.
Howl's moving head. Howl's heading head. Head.
He's
done?
heading to
Heady.
If you want to see more of our content, you can find our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter on our Linktree at linktree/greenvillains. That's linktr.ee/greenvillains.